So, welcome everybody. My name is Vivek Chopra. I've been in the world of training and transformation and facilitation for more than 25 years. Uh, Today's session is about sales, breakthrough in customer relationships. But before I go into sales and customer relationship, let me just introduce to you a few things before uh, we get into sales. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the screen. I want to first introduce us, who we
We
are.
can.
So we are Global Transformation Consulting, a team of people who are in the world of transformation for, consolidatedly nearly hundreds of years, 100 years. And we are really up to creating organizational culture, team culture for high performance. So we work with globally acclaimed transformation principles enriched by deep experience and an extraordinary commitment to make a difference. And our intention, alter the consciousness with which businesses, society, and individuals operate. I'll say that again. Our intention as Global Transformation Consulting, our team's intention is to alter the consciousness with which businesses, society, and individuals operate. And businesses include NGOs, institutions, schools, any organization that is working together, uh, alter the consciousness from which we operate. Okay, so that's very critical. And the background principles that we are standing on, that we're using in all our programs, our webinars, our seminars, our workshops, are based on Theory U and Otto Scharmer's uh, principles leading from the emerging future. And the commitment, of course, is to transform business, society, and self. These are some organizations, clients, partners who have been actually in real life situations practicing, implementing the principles of Theory U, the ideas of Theory U. And there are many more. There are just a few of them. Some of the books could read if you wish to read and get them on Amazon or anywhere else. Presence, Theory U, leading from the future as it emerges, leading from the emerging future, and the essentials of Theory U, core principles and applications. So, so let's get into this conversation. Sales, breakthrough in customer relationships. So, very important first step is to let you know that this conversation is not this is not a monologue. It's not like I'm giving you a lecture. I'm going to give you lots of information. This is an inquiry. This is an interactive conversation where you and I will be engaged in this conversation to discover what is it going to take to really have a breakthrough in customer relationships. Okay, so starting off, let's start. What would be a breakthrough in customer relationships for you? If you had to look at a breakthrough in your relationship with your customers, what would be that breakthrough? So let's start from there. So who'd like to speak up first? What would be a breakthrough in customer relationships where you are?
Vivek Victor here.
Yeah, please, Victor.
Yeah, so breakthrough would look like uh, a kind of a relationship where there is a lot of transparency in the interaction. There is nothing to hide between the supplier and the customer. So that is how it would appear to me. There is complete transparency on both sides.
Great. Complete transparency, nothing is hidden. Very good. Excellent, Victor. Thanks for sharing. Somebody else? What would you
Yeah, Baswa here.
Yeah, Baswa.
As nothing is hidden, as he says, Victor says, transparency plus heart-to-heart relationship, and they know what we are doing and supporting us, and we have a great relationship with each other, and trust, mainly trust. Distrust will be there. I want to develop more trust with our customers.
Very good. And so, heart to heart relationship, you said that's one. Two, you said there's trust. And in your saying trust, what I hear is they trust you,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I got that. Great, great, Baswa. Thanks. Somebody else?
Thank
What would be there if you really had a breakthrough in your customer relationships?
Hi,
Hi
this is
there,
Ayush.
Okay, let's start with somebody said, was that Shiva?
Shiva.
Yeah,
I
Shiva.
just joined.
Okay. Shiva, you want to go first?
Uh, Hi, Basuli.
you. Namaste. Namaste, Shivagopal. Yeah.
Yes, sir, thank you. I just joined. Sorry for delay.
Okay, good.
So when we breakthrough relations with customer means that customers love the product and services offered by us, and then they keep coming back to us again and again to derive the same amount of satisfaction from our services or products.
Excellent. They keep coming back to you and they have a love and trust and they like what you have to offer and they want to keep coming back
Yes.
to you. Yeah, Ayush? Ayush, you were sharing something?
I was trying to say something close to what Shiva has just said, that creating a sense of satisfaction level in our customers. If that can be done, that can be a breakthrough.
Very good. But what you shared it's very important. Creating that satisfaction level would be after the service.
Right.
But to get the customer to be a customer itself, what kind of relationship
If
do you
you if
need
you
to
provide good
have
service and
the
if we can create that satisfaction in one customer, we might attract more customers based on that.
Okay, so if you could do that
Can I say something,
satisfaction
sir?
with one customer, then other
Mm-hmm.
people might, get attracted to that. Okay, great,
Yeah.
Ayush. Yeah,
Correct.
thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Always customers need good quality and quantity. They are always expecting. That needs to be served from us.
Okay,
Like the NGOs also, they need good quality and quantity service that we have to serve.
okay, good quality and good quantity service. Yes. Anyone else?
I was saying,
Yeah, Shiva.
yeah, what I was trying to say is that our endeavor shall be always to look at customers' needs and getting what makes them to get satisfaction from the existing product or even designing a new product or a service. Even before we offer a service, we will be looking at these things, so that when the relationship is established, the bonding will be very strong.
Okay. And what would it take to get that relationship established?
Yeah, be curious all the time to understand what they really want, such that they feel happy and satisfied.
Okay, good. Great. So we've got the ball rolling to looking at what's really what it would be to have a breakthrough in customer relationships. So this is a good time for everybody to participate. So what I'd like all of you to do is to go into your chat and introduce yourself, your name, where you are working, what is your designation, where do you live, which country do you live in, where do you work. You could share on the chat, uh, who are you, so that everybody can get to know you better. So, we are 20 people here on the screen, so people could get to know you better. If you could introduce yourself, what's your name, what do you do, things like that. Do you know where chat is? Great, Shiva. Bangalore, running an investment consultancy firm, looking for an expansion. Karuna Trust from Davangere. Baswa, CEO of Karuna Trust. Kalyana Trust. Vaibhav from Kolkata. Vaibhav, what do you do? Mir, what do you do? Regine from the Philippines, you're a student taking Bachelor of Science in Business Management. Great. Welcome. Carla, welcome. From the Philippines, working with the Philippine Rural Reconstruction Movement. Fabulous. Mihir manufactures chemicals for home and personal care, looking after international sales. Factory in Ambernath. Victor, my favorite person, foodie, loves to network, living in Mumbai, handling international business and working with Indore Composite. Nilesh, also with Indore Composite, marketing manager in international business based out of Mumbai, electrical engineer with MBA in marketing. Shantanu, multiple businesses, mostly stagnant, partner with a broker house. Supplies, food supplies, very good. Business development, sales. Welcome, Mayan.
Hello.
Great. So let's get back into the conversation of sales. Sales is so important. We all know that. We've got to have sales. Sales with whom? Sales with external customers. Sometimes you even need to sell to your internal customers. You've got to sell all the time. Now, question for you. Why is that so important to you? Why is it important to you to get to have a breakthrough relationship with your customer?
Vivek?
Yeah, who's that? Was that
Go
Vic-
ahead. I'll
Victor?
come next. I'll go next.
Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the fundamental motive of an enterprise, which is to bring in money. So I think to have fantastic relationship, but the bottom line is to get business and the money.
Right. Great. And Mayan?
Yes, I'm Ian Mendoza, and I have been working with the development sector, specifically nonprofits, for the past 3 decades. And I find that the word sales is also applicable to my work, even if my work is not about earning profits. It's like we're up to something, like a result, big or small, and that result entails certain actions that would elicit responses from, if it's a business, it's customers, but if it's a project, a development project, it's with our stakeholders and the beneficiaries of the project. So eliciting a response that aligns with my intention is relevant to what you're mentioning, Vivek. And so to me, even if I'm not in business, it's important for me to influence or to sell what I'm up to. And not really selling, but looking at what do they need, what would they buy, instead of just selling my product and closing my eyes. You should buy this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I get
I'm
that.
saying
Now.
this. I'm saying this because Carla Santos is also in the room, and like me, she's with the nonprofit sector.
Right. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Somebody else? Why is this
As
breakthrough
Mayan rightly
relationship with your
said,
customer important to you? Yes, Shiva.
If I may so say, yeah,
Sorry, Vaibhav, is that you?
yeah,
Yeah, go
yes,
ahead,
sir.
Vaibhav, and then
So
I'll come to
if I
Shiva.
sure.
yeah.
So if I must, if the breakthrough relation is actually indispensable part of sales, if you must say, not only do your present base of customers get you more references, which in turn helps you to grow as an organization, as a business entity, and everything, but also a proper, good, healthy relationship with your customers. You get proper feedbacks, so that in turn helps you to be better in every way, improve, and have a better competitive edge. That's what I believe. And when you have that proper relationship with your customer, when you have an open relationship with your customers, they come back to you even if they have a advantage or in costing or whatever it may be. They keep coming back to you. So that is a relationship that takes time, that takes trust, a lot of trust, loyalty, and complete transparency in the process.
Great,
So
Vaibhav. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Fabulous. Shiva?
Yeah, what I was trying to say is that, like Mayan rightly said, the basic premise of any sales process or the business organization, even when there is no business, non-profit organization, the basic thing is to get the connected to people, connecting to people. This is where everything starts. When we are not doing business, even when your relationship with people at home or an organization within the organization, basic thing is to connect to people.
Yeah.
This is a human nature. We can't live in isolation.
Yeah.
So from there we can develop further to see what once we get connected, then build a relationship
Great.
to meet the needs of each other.
Thank you, Shiva. Yeah, Nilesh. Nilesh, you want to share something? I can't hear you. Your sound is not connected somehow. So if you look at your screen, there is a
Maybe
mute.
unmute.
There's a mute on the side. Maybe you need to change your microphone or sound. When you connected to the call, did you say choose internet audio? Oh, so your microphone is not working for some reason. So your microphone is not connected. So maybe you could try and select a microphone and see if it works, okay? Okay, so let's continue. So question then, therefore, is you really need to have a breakthrough relationship with your customers. So who are these customers? Who are these stakeholders that you need to be really connected to? Could you identify them? Could you identify 4, 5 of them, 10 of them, 15 of them? Who are the main people that you need to connect next week, week after next, next month, in the next 10 days? Who are the key customers that you need to connect with? And listen to the next question. What is it that's really important to them? What is it that is really important to those customers? So who is your customer? And what is it that's really important to that customer? So this is a really important question. What is your customer's most important objective? What is it that's most important to your customer? Yeah, Milind?
So it could be like, the customer's major objective would be, quick responses, giving them better services, or, handling their queries and doubts in an effective way.
So
So,
three things you
these would be
said.
some,
Three things
yeah.
you said, right?
Right.
What is important? Why is that important to them? Those quick responses. Why is that important to them? What's the purpose behind that.
So I would say it's not just the customers. So customers is broadly, a category of people who are taking some services or some products, right? It's a human psychology, I would say. So, any person for that matter, whenever, when you speak to someone and there is no response, you kind of lose your interest. So, that's how I would correlate with that. So it's very natural. It's not by, since he's just a customer that, he would like to have quick responses, but it's a natural human, psychology that plays around.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm saying dig deeper. What
Yeah.
could be more important? What would be the reason they want that quick response? What
Because,
is it
I
that's
would,
important to them that they need the quick response?
yeah. So, because they are also answerable to somebody else.
So
Like,
therefore,
they're
there is
depending on us.
so there is something more
Yes.
important than that, right?
Correct. Correct.
And somehow we are not connected to what's really important to them,
Right.
right?
Right.
Not that you don't want to be, you'd love to be, wouldn't you?
But it is just the kind of misinformation, the information that we don't have, the gap of information, that what is it that they are, connected to, or are they are answerable to. If we know that, we'll be very much effective in the way that we, respond to our customers.
Yes. So what do they need you for, Victor? Other people you could put on your videos, because then we can participate with you. You can engage in the conversation rather than just listen. Yeah, please go ahead, Victor.
Yeah. So maybe the higher purpose could be that they would want to feel secure. They would want to be felt assured. I think that's what they would want to feel.
And what would that be that would make them feel that way? You could answer the question, I don't know, it's fine.
Right.
What would make them feel that secure?
I will be in that inquiry.
Yeah, good question, right? Yeah, great, Victor. Thanks for saying that, because what you said was so important, that your customer wants to feel more secure. That's so important, right? Great. Thanks for sharing that. Someone else. What is it that's really important to your customer?
Shiva.
First we'll take Shiva, then Baswa.
Sir, what is important for a customer is that, before being a customer, he is a human being. And his mind always keep evaluating what's available to him, what can give him satisfaction, where he can get connected. And the human needs are there, there shall be some gain to me, some benefit to me, some satisfaction. As Milind rightly said, it's a sort of what they call quick response in the process. Basically, we always look for getting some gain, satisfaction, feeling safe and secure. There are no threats in my dealing with the person who is offering some service.
Great, Shiva. Perfect what you said. So question is for you again to think about what is it that will make them feel that way.
That is how we are designed. We as a human, we are designed to scan the environment for some benefit, some gain,
Shiva,
and avoid the pain.
You said that. Shiva, you said that. Listen to the next question. For your customer to feel that way, for your customer to experience that, what would you need to provide? What would your customer need for that connection to happen, for that safety to happen, for that trust to happen, for that confidence to be there, to trust you, to be fully connected to you? What would that person need from you?
There would be some past experiences, I would say, based on some past experiences. Customer, it is a ongoing process wherein the customer would feel secure. It
Milind,
doesn't come immediately.
beautiful. What you said is past experiences, but that's for an old customer.
Right.
I'm talking about tomorrow, day after
So
tomorrow,
maybe you can-
because in the future, you need to connect with the
Yeah.
customer. You need to connect with your customer in the future.
Right.
You're not connecting with that customer right now. Right now, you're here. You're going to connect in the future.
Right.
So, in the future, what would that customer need from you for that connection to happen, for that trust to happen, for that safety to happen, for that really great relationship to happen? What needs to happen in the future?
Maybe some facts and figures or some references,
Maybe.
like say, yeah. So if there are some references or maybe close friends who have experienced me as a person, and probably you can go to that person and ask that how Milind is or how this person is, they would feel much more secure. Because when a third party comes into the picture and he gives us trust and confidence, which he has not experienced, maybe, which would help the person or the customer to gain trust in you.
Yeah. Well, whatever you just said is great. So there's some recommendations that can happen or something that you hope to happen. But at the same time, it seems to me that the way you are relating to whatever my question is what can you do is in project, push, drive, sell for that customer to become connected to you.
I would
Right.
like to go. Hi.
Yeah, Nilesh.
Yeah, so I think maybe prior to selling, we should understand our customer, like what is his needs, what is his pain points. We should be emotionally connecting with him. And maybe if we are committing him something, say like we will be submitting you some offer, or we will be giving you some info, we should deliver these small commitments. And once we deliver them on time, small commitments, then maybe the customer can start trusting us, and then maybe he will be open with us and he will share all his problems. So in this way, maybe we can connect, and then maybe business can follow next after this. But initially we need to connect with the customers in this way, I feel.
Okay, great, Nilesh. Wonderful. And whatever you said is absolutely perfectly valid and absolutely great. And it is my next step. It's the next question. You answered my next question before, which is absolutely fine. And I'm not jealous or anything like that. It's great. It's a great answer.
I want
that
to
you
add
gave.
something
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that you really
Yeah.
need to connect with that customer, find out what that person needs, maybe provide him small some solutions to him that he starts to trust us over a period of time. And I think that's great, Nilesh. Well done. Let's look at what is your most important objective. So the question has changed right now. I was asking you earlier, what is your customer's most important objective? What's your most important objective? Most important. I'm not asking you your second most important or your just kaam chalao important or just, you're just for the sake of saying something important. What's your most important objective?
To have that customer in a long term, to see that customer in a longer term, to retain him for a longer period of time, and have as a continuous supply from that customer, I would say. Not just one time or two time, but to look on the longer run.
It's a good answer, but that's like a short-term goal. What would be the objective, the purpose of having that connection long-term with that customer? What is the purpose of that?
I would say that
one sec, Nilesh. Just let Nilesh
for
stay
me,
with
what
that.
is most important.
Shiva, just let's stay with Nilesh for 2 minutes more. Nilesh, what would be the purpose of that, whatever you said?
Well, I would say to grow ourselves, like to grow our business, and maybe to also grow the customer, and also to grow ourselves. It should be a mutual growth, a win-win situation for both of us.
Okay, nice. So you're now slowly moving one step forward in getting connected to some kind of purpose and objective of your own. You know, Shiva, you were there on the last call, right? Last week?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
now
Yes,
you have
sir.
to stay, hold on for a second. Let some of the new people also get,
Yeah, sure.
get
All right,
to
all right.
struggle their brains
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, let us do some, let's beat the rust. So somebody else, what is your
Yeah,
most
that's why.
important objective?
That's
That's
why.
why you are a professional.
Okay, let others speak. Okay.
Yeah. What is your most important objective?
Our main objective is to make our customer self-sufficient and self-reliant.
Okay. But what is the objective of that?
That is our first aim.
Yeah, it's a goal. It's a short-term goal, what you just said. And it's a nice goal. It's a wonderful goal. And I want you to achieve that goal. But what is the objective of that goal?
To make them self-sufficient.
So think about it. It's a struggle. You're struggling with the question. You're looking at the short-term goal. When I'm saying, what is your most important objective, which is your far long-term objective, but you're sort of stuck with, let me get the sale first. We'll talk about objectives and purposes and all. These are all high-fly things. I'm not interested in those things. I'm only interested in getting to patao my customer so that he's stuck with me for the rest of his life and he keeps giving me his money.
The main objective would be, to build upon a very good relationship. So that is what is, important. So wherever if the customer.
What is the purpose of building a relationship? Yeah.
You can have long-term gains out of it. So say, for example, if a customer is working for a company like, a company A, and maybe she is changing the company, getting into a company B. But if
Milind, what's your company? What's your business?
So it's I'm working with Indore Composites. So we are more into the optical fiber industry.
Right. And what's the purpose of this company, Indore Composites?
So we provide products which is related to the optical fiber cables. So basically the strength member. So it's like a skeleton to the optical fiber cables.
Very good. So what's the purpose of providing those, providing that strength?
The strength. So if we go into the product specific information, it's like to hold the cables in the way they have to be, and protect them from the outer distractions or the disruptions.
And how
that
does
is
that,
the product per se.
And then how does that help the world?
It's like improving the communication, helping in improving the communication.
Right.
Yeah, there's a way.
So if you see
there's a bigger purpose, right?
Right. So if you see the larger picture to it, attached to it, so we are kind of connecting the world.
Very good.
So I'm not connecting the world, I would say, but yes, supporting the world to get connected.
Very good. Perfect.
I would reframe it in that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're really supporting the. Now just see how much difficult it is for me to get you to answer a question. What is your objective?
That's what exactly what I was trying to say. I wanted to say.
It is a struggle for you to answer this question.
Right.
What do you think? How do you think it's going to be for your customer?
It's going to be difficult, definitely.
Yeah, it's very rare to find even most human beings will be able to answer these questions so easily.
Right.
Right. Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, if you have no idea about their objective, you have no idea about your objective, they have no idea about their objective, what is the chance that you will have a great relationship, 10 on 10 relationship?
So, I would say there is no relationship in the world which is perfect, which is 10 on 10. But the chances in this specific case would be, say, on the scale of 2 to 3 maximum.
Yeah.
That is how we know a customer.
Yeah, currently,
maximum, the upper limit would be 3.
Yeah, currently your relationship with your customers, there'll be a few customers, very rare, 1 or 2 who will be above 4 or 5. but
Right.
most of them would be like 0 and -1. Right?
Right.
Especially the ones who are not yet your customer or no longer your customer.
Correct.
Right, somebody who is not yet a customer. You all want to increase your sales, make it 10 times bigger. There must be at least 1 million people out there you want to sell to who don't even know you exist, right? And you don't know them, and
Right.
you have no connection with them. They have no connection with you. And all you can do is go online and do some social media advertising and send some
Just
email
prepare,
blasts. Send brochures to them, send
you know,
email
we can
blasts to
just do
them.
one thing is just prepare a wish list.
Yeah, we're just
Right.
running, we're just blasting
It's-
away non-stop social media campaigns.
Right.
Nobody's connecting with anybody.
Correct.
And if you can't connect with them, they can't connect with you, you can't connect with them. Where is there going to be a breakthrough relationship? Even the ones who are there, you're not
It would
breakthrough.
just be a transactional thing.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. And really, now the question is, what would it look like for you, or how would it be for you if you could create a 10 on 10 or 8 on 10 or a 9 on 10 relationship, a 7 on 10 relationship? If you could really create that kind of relationship with your customer, how would it be for you personally? Not only professionally, but how would it be for yourself personally if you could connect to people, if you could, connect to the customer? For the sale to happen, you need that breakthrough relationship, right? How would it be? So all of you interested? If you're saying yes, you could type yes in the chat or give a thumbs up or something that, we are now very clear this is something we want, right? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Victor. Thank you, Nilesh, Milind, Shiva, Corona Trust, Vikas. Great. So we've got quite a few responses saying, yes, this is important. We want to really get us to have this 10 on 10 relationship. So before I go to the next conversation, next question, I want to share the screen again with you. What's happened to my screen? Here it is. I want to introduce you to, again, Theory U and one or two principles of Theory U. So the first principle that I want to introduce to you is there are two sources of learning and there are two learning cycles. The first source of learning is something you are all very good at. You all studied hard, you read lots of books, you attended a lot of training programs, which is learning by reflecting on the experiences of the past. All your books you read, all the movies you've seen, all the chapters, all the seminars you've attended, all of that is some past knowledge, great knowledge you've got, great experience you've got, and it follows a simple kind of system, a kind of a flow. The cycle is like this: action, observe, reflect, plan, act. Again observe, again reflect, again plan, again act. This is something you guys do and you're all PhDs and you're very good at it. Some of you are not even good at this, but it's okay. You could do it and you should practice it. It's a good healthy training, healthy education. It's a good learning. Theory U is telling you there's another source of learning, and that is called learning from the future as it emerges. We call it presencing. Presencing, there are two words: present and sensing. Present and sensing. So learning from the future as it emerges. How do you learn from the future? How do you learn from the future? What is that? So I'm going to show you a little photograph. Yeah. How many of you can tell me what's on this photograph?
He's trying to avoid some shoe being thrown at him.
Yeah, this
Focus.
thing, this little thing, this ball.
It's a golf ball.
Yeah, there's a ball,
Focus,
right?
focus.
There's a ball. So
Yeah.
just imagine in life, you see someone is throwing something at you right at this moment. Right now, from the corner
Right
of
now.
your eye, you see someone is throwing something at you. What would you do? Come on, come on. You don't have time to think. It's not a
Okay.
thinking answer. If someone throws something at you
So
right
it's-
now while you're sitting in this chair of yours, what would you be doing?
Your reflexes would be active.
Catch,
Either
catch.
avoid or block.
Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. Show me what you'll do. Milind, if from the left side somebody threw something at you. Yeah, you'll do this. Very good. Some of you will duck.
Right.
Okay. Nilesh, what will you
Duck,
do?
duck.
Nilesh will pick up a book. He will pick a book and use the book to play cricket or baseball, right? Somebody else will say catch. Like, but what you want to get is there's a ball coming at you. Then the ball is coming at you at every moment. What is emerging? Every moment, what is
Right.
emerging? The ball is emerging. The future is emerging.
Fear. Yeah.
In your life, something is always emerging. Yes or no? At every moment of life, there's something
Yes.
emerging at you. Every moment. Even at this moment, stop. Something is going to emerge. As soon as I speak, something is coming to you. Something is always coming. And you can learn from this future as it emerges. Thing is, what do you need to develop? What are the skills you need to develop to be able to catch what is emerging, especially when you're having a conversation with your customers? Especially when you're having a conversation with your customer, there's something emerging. Something is emerging all the time. It could be a facial expression. It could be some words. It could be attitude. It could be some emotion. It could be something that they feel. They may be saying something to you. There's something always emerging from the future. So this is one principle that we want to develop in our training programs. And this is something that we deal with in our training programs. Very, very important principle. Learning from the future as it emerges, because the future is emerging always right now in the present. And for that, you need to have some skill, firstly, to be present to what is emerging. Suppose you did not see the ball coming at you. What would happen? Suppose you did not see that thing coming to you. What would happen to you? You'd get hurt. The ball would hit you. Then an accident would happen, right? Something bad would happen, right? How many times are people communicating to you and you're not listening, you're not present, and something bad happens? Those who are married, they all know. Those who are staying with their parents, they have a good experience that when you're not listening, something always comes at that time. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention in the class, what happens? You miss out, right? So this is very, very critical. You want to do that. The second principle that we're going to be working on, and that you need to be, and this is part of the whole U theory. If you see, there's a U. The slide has a U on it. Yeah? That's why it's called U theory. There are 3 phases of the U. One phase is called sensing. The second phase is called presencing. And then the third phase is called realizing. Sensing is observe. Observe, really observe, be present and sense. Become one with the world. When you really sense, when you really pay attention, you become one with that, whatever you pay attention to. So if you're paying attention to your customer, if you're selling to a customer, and if you really pay attention to your customer, you really want to become one with that person, right? With that person you're selling to. There's another word called presencing, which we say is called allow your inner knowing to emerge. Connecting to what's important, connecting to the highest possibility. It requires some action called retreat and reflect. We will not go through the whole U theory in this 1.5 2 hour session. That's a full many workshops. And then the third part is realizing, which is act swiftly with a natural flow. Okay. So these are principles that we would be needing to address in dealing with this challenge that you have, which is connecting to your customer. So let's start with answering the next question. And the next question is a very powerful question. And my request to all of you, Carla, Sumit, Sam, Jaina, Adi, Vikas, Lokesh, Veena, please open up, share your screens, faces, share your screens, participate with us, okay? That way we can interact and we can really serve you, and so that you can really create value. More value if you participate. Less value if you just listen for knowledge. It won't make much difference. What stops you? Question for you. What stops you from having a breakthrough relationship? What stops you from having that breakthrough relationship? Shiva, hold on. Let's take some. Okay, Shiva, go ahead. Let's take you first. Yeah, go ahead, since you raised your hand.
Okay, I'm not very. I can also ask others. No problem.
No, that's okay. Shiva, go ahead.
Not an issue.
Go ahead, Shiva.
What was the question? I just forgot actually.
What stops you from having this kind of breakthrough in your relationship with your customer? What stops you from having this fantastic relationship?
It's what stops me from having fantastic relationship is my own fears, my own sense of not being responsible. I don't want to be responsible for what emerges in the relationship. So I'm avoiding responsibility, and I'm trying to avoid the pain or difficulties that customers can throw at me.
Okay.
I'm trying to shield myself.
Okay, Shiva. Thank you so much for being so honest and so candid and so straightforward. That I really am fearful that something may come up, and I don't want to be responsible for what may come up, and what is it going to take to maintain such a great relationship. I don't know. I'm afraid of that. Yeah, great, Shiva. Thank you for sharing that. Somebody else.
Yes.
Somebody else. What stops you from having this 10-on-10 relationship? And I'm asking you normal answers, okay? You can feel free to say what is the real thing, okay? Nobody will go to jail for the answers. If you're honest, yeah. Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, fear of failure.
Fear of failure. What? Can you say something more about that?
Yeah, so like, for example, when I converse with a customer, I think the ultimate intention is to, win over something, whether it is a deal or a purchase order, right? And sometimes, the whole purpose of having that conversation is to have this at the back of our mind. And so I am always prepared, I always want to be prepared that, I do not fail or I do not miss that deal. So and somewhere when that is there in the background, it stops me from having a transparent conversation with customers.
Very, very powerful what you said, right? That on my mind is an agenda of trying to get the deal. On my mind is the agenda is to find a way to take his money as quickly as possible and as much of it as possible. And so I'm only interested in that. And then this breakthrough relationship with that person is not on my mind. It's not something that I'm kind of interested in at that time. Fabulous. Great, Victor. You won the battle.
Thank you. Yeah.
You won the battle, right? You're always winning the battle. You make sure you don't have a great relationship with your customer. You only try and get deals. Great. Thank you for sharing that. But it's so honest that you're sharing. Wow, wonderful sharing. Yeah, somebody else. What stops you? What are the
Thank you.
conversations that stop you? What are the thoughts that stop you? Yeah, Nilesh, come on.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the zone of comfort. Like we are comfortable with the customer with whatever we are delivering, and we don't want to extrapolate, or we don't want to do something extra or take that effort of doing that. And
Sound went.
ship to a next level. So maybe many a time it's the sense of ignorance which hampers this relationship. So we should be knowing that there is something better which can be done to take this relationship. So maybe
Very
that
good.
could be also a
Very
reason.
good. Very good. So, there are many conversations that come up. Sometimes the conversation comes up that there is no time. I'm in a hurry. I've got so many more people to contact. There may be a conversation that, like Shiva said, I'm afraid he may ask me for some things I can't give them. I might fail to give that much. Or I don't need to have a great relationship to get my sales. So why should I get that relationship? Some conversation, and then there's the whole conversation. I don't know how to have such conversations. I don't even know how to create great relationships. I have no idea. Yeah, great, Nilesh. Thanks for sharing. Somebody else. What stops you personally from having a breakthrough relationship so that you can have sales? Sam, Sumit, Jaina, Vikas, Veena, Anna, Milind, Arabian Petrol. Arabian Petroleum. Yeah, hi. Welcome. Could you show your face? We can only see the hair. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Please, go ahead. We can't hear you. Your sound is not connected. That is, your microphone is not connected. Your earphone is working fine. You can hear me, but you need to speak into your microphone. It's not connected. So on your computer, connect to mute and see if you could connect your microphone. Your microphone is not connected. Nilesh will be able to tell you how he got his microphone connected.
I actually rejoined the meeting and again followed the inbuilt computer voice. So I just removed my microphone and connecting through my laptop.
Okay, good.
So maybe he can rejoin. Yeah.
So when you
Yeah,
join
now,
I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
What is
He
coming?
can
Yeah.
hear you.
yeah, fine. So thank you. Thanks for your patience. So what I really see is, look at that to have a breakthrough relationship in the first place. It is just a routine. Routine increasing the sales is coming. We are achieving the targets. Where is the requirement of a breakthrough relationship? Process
Beautiful.
of mind actually.
Perfect. Absolutely. What is the even need to have great relationships with people if I can survive without it?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Very
Fabulous.
honest about that.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember Manoj asked me this question 2 weeks ago. We did a mock session. We were designing this introduction, and I said to him that he said to me, let's work to each other. And I said, okay, I am the guy who is the participant of this course, and you are the leader of this course. And he asked me these questions, and I said, for me, on my mind is I don't know whether they will accept what I have to say. I don't know if they trust me. I don't know whether I have the time to even waste of getting so many relationships. Who's going to maintain them? I have 10,000 customers. I have trained more than 50,000 people. How can I be related closely having a breakthrough? I thought of all these thoughts. But the fact is that really having a breakthrough relationship with those customers makes a big difference. Massive difference.
Sure, it will make.
Yeah. And you'll find that instead of selling, breakthrough relationships will bring the sales rather than the sales will bring the sales.
I agree.
Great.
I
Thank you
agree.
so much. Your name, sir?
Prakash.
Akash. Welcome.
Prakash. Prakash.
Prakash. Welcome, Prakash.
Thank you.
Yes. Somebody else. What's there for you that's coming in your way of having a breakthrough relationship? One last person. Yeah, Shiva. Victor, say something? No, let's take Shiva, then Victor. Yeah, Shiva, go ahead.
It's just that, I am living in scarcity and I don't have anything to offer. Whatever I am doing business is just to take advantage of the situation, and then I ride on the service or the product and then get my benefit first. I don't have anything to give. I mean, living in a scarcity. That stops me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like survival is more important than your highest purpose. Right?
Sure.
So first priority in my life is to survive. Who has time for big purposes and objectives and all those things? Let me just survive in my life. And unfortunately, we don't realize that somehow that's sort of taken over our lives so much that we are not very happy and satisfied with the game that we are playing because survival has become the game. I mean, your children ask you, why are you living, Dad? I'm just living to not die.
True.
Right? To avoid dying soon. So that's my purpose of life right now. And I don't like that purpose.
Scarcity, what I'm living is not about survival. It's also about what is already just built upon something which we don't even need. And I am focused more on that than rather than what is really actually important to me.
Very good.
That's the scarcity.
Very good. So we started off the session by looking at what is it that is their highest objective, what is their highest purpose. We are not connected to the customer's highest purpose. We are not connected to our own highest purpose. And then we also just noticed that our commitment, our conversations that we have is more in the world of fear, cynicism, despair, survival, just getting by, or distracted with things that are not so important to us. And so all these things do not allow us to have a breakthrough in sales, breakthrough in connections, breakthrough in relationships with our customers. That's clearly there. So the next question that comes up is that what do we need? What is it that we need? What are the skills we need? What is it that we need to develop so that we could have a breakthrough in relationship with our customers? What is it that we need? What are the, I mean, one is just to remember that it's something that's important. Maybe we need a signboard put on the wall in front of us, on the poster or the whiteboard, have breakthrough relationships with customers. Maybe that signboard is needed in the home office or in the real office. But other than that, what else do we need?
Excellent communication, relationship, and trust and enrollment.
Okay.
With the customers.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody else? What do you need to develop so that you could have those excellent breakthrough relationships? Otherwise, the whole program will be taken over by Shiva if you guys don't participate, okay? And I love it that Shiva has got a hand up. I love it. Thank you so much, Shiva, for pushing everyone else to participate. Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the first and foremost thing that comes into my mind is acknowledging the fact that there is no breakthrough relationship now. So I think acknowledgement of that fact. I think that's one important thing. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Step 2. What would be your step 2, Victor?
I think step 2 could be giving them a passionate listening, hearing them out, hearing their world. I think that's step 2.
How would you do that?
To understand their higher purpose. I think that's
How would you do that?
By having conversations.
What kind of conversations?
Open-ended questions.
Very good.
Right.
Like you need to have lots and lots of curious questions.
Inquiry, like, a lot of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really getting to know what else do they need? What else is important to them? Like letting them speak for a long time. Normally a salesperson listens to interject. I know myself, I'm like that. Somebody speaks and I'm ready to jump in and, rebut or put my point through very quickly. But really listening and letting them speak. I was in Hong Kong for a training program and I was talking to two brothers who were business partners. And both of them were complaining about each other. They were both complaining about each other. So I said, hold on, yeah. You guys will keep going bickering with each other. It's not going to get anywhere. Why don't you do one thing? Let one person speak, the other person just listen. 15 minutes, you will not say anything. So big brother said, okay, 15 minutes, I'll keep quiet. Younger brother speak. Younger brother spoke. He spoke for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, he took a deep breath, like a pause. And immediately the big brother jumped and bashed him up. He won't let him speak further. 2 minutes and then finished. I said, hold on. Let him speak. He stopped. He stopped speaking. I said, so you were waiting for him to stop speaking. That was the whole objective in your mind. You were not interested in listening to him. Really getting to know your brother. You're getting to know what your brother needs, what he wants, what is going on in his mind. You're not interested. All you're interested in is selling what you have to sell. And that's the way we are. That's the way it is. So Victor, great. Thank you. Nilesh, great. Thank you for both your responses. You really want to develop some skills to be deeply listening. Deeply listening. So I'm going to share with you something from the slides again. So like I told you about the U theory, there are 3 phases. The first phase is observe, observe, observe. So I'm going to show you another slide which gives you a little more information about the U theory and the U process, okay? So if you look at this, if you take this, the inner circle, there was sensing, presencing, realizing. So let's get the first part, sensing. What is sensing? Our work in the U theory, the U process, you want to develop your skills for transforming perception. What do we mean by transforming perception? Transforming for you your perception of your customer. Transforming for you your perception of what your customer needs. Transforming for your customer what the customer needs, transforming for your customer who you are for your customer. So right now, maybe your customer thinks you're just a guy who comes for transactions. But there would be a transformation in the perception of you and what you have to offer. So there's a huge transformation. At this stage of the U, we are practicing learning the skills to transform perception, because without transforming perception, the rest of it is not going to work. There needs to be a massive transformation in perception. The second thing we want to transform is what? Transforming self. Transforming our will. Are we even willing to be having a great relationship with our customer? Are we really willing to transform ourselves? Or are we only going to live from survival? Are we only going to live from our old small self who's always just trying to survive, the teeny weeny self? The bichara self, the scared self, the fearful self. So presencing, this is the whole world of transforming self and will. So in our programs, there's a lot of work where you need to work on transforming self. Very, very important. so that you are connected to your own highest objective, your highest purpose, your highest intentions. And then there's the third part, which is realizing, which is transforming action. Transforming action. The way we act, transforming that. And there's a lot of skills required to do all these three things. And that is the outer side of the you. If you see the 7 capacities you need to train and develop, these 7 capacities are suspending. Suspending what? Suspending the thoughts that are already there. Suspending the already thoughts there. There are too many thoughts that are already there. Suspending them. Now, suspending doesn't mean discarding. Suspending means putting on pause. Because a lot of the thoughts that are there are important also. So we are not asking you to ignore, but we are asking you to suspend. Suspend so that you can connect. Suspend allows you to connect. The second thing is redirecting our attention. Our attention needs to be redirected. Most of us, when we are looking at survival, threat, fear, cynicism, criticism, bitterness, anger, irritation, when our focus is on those things, then there is no chance of that breakthrough relationship. So we need to have a transformation, a breakthrough in our redirecting, our focus, redirecting our attention. And we train you in the U theory, in the courses that we do, to be able to do that. The third space, the capacity you need to develop is letting go. Like you said, Victor, first step is for me to realize that I have not been committed to a great relationship. That's good. But then why not? Because there's been some other thought there. Can we let go? Can we let go of the fear that is making us remain in the old habit? Because as long as we are going to not let go, it's very difficult to step into a future of really high possibility. Really, transforming yourself will not happen. To transform that self and will, letting go is like critical. Now, I can keep explaining all these things to you, but these things are more important in the workshop itself, the whole training program we do. But before we go there, I want you to understand one thing. Today, I am talking to Nilesh, I'm talking to Shiva, I'm talking to Victor, I'm talking to you, Sam, I'm talking to one person. The U theory is not only to transform you and your perception and yourself, but your team's perception and your team's self, your organization's perception and your organization's self. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Why is it important for your entire team, your entire organization, your entire structure, for all of you to transform perception, for all of you to transform self and will? Why is that important? You got my question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is just you transforming, this personal, individually you transform. Very good. You became, the Buddha. You became Jesus Christ. You became Ram, Krishna, everything. All of that happened inside you. Great, fabulous. But you got a team of people, right? Who are also interacting, who's also connecting. And they have a zero relationship with the customer. They have a zero relationship with each other. They have a 0 or 2 or 3 relationship with the whole game. Why is it important for us to have a transformation in the community, in the team, in the group?
It is sustainable, Vivek.
Yeah, very good. What else? So that it is sustainable is one very good answer. What else?
Connection happens over the authenticity, authentic self.
Okay. What else?
When we are transformed. Yeah.
Yeah. If you are transformed, what about all the people working with you?
They are also getting transformed simultaneously. The connections happen easily.
Very good. Then the connections happen more easily. Yeah. And they are sustainable, long term. Anything else?
To have a common goal.
Very good. All of you will be behind the goals. Right now, you are driving as a person on top, you are driving the goal, but other people are just doing what? Labor. They are doing transactions. I remember many years ago, I got a call from my boss. My boss called me, there were three of them who called me. They were in America, I was in India. Three of them called me. And they said, Vivek, you should do this, 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 you should do this. I said, yes, 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 sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. One of them caught it. They caught it. They said, one of them said, he is saying he will do what we said he should do, but he is not saying he will achieve the target. He is not saying he'll fulfill the goal. He is only saying, I will do what you told me to do. If you have people in your life who just do what you're telling them to do, that doesn't mean they have the same intention. That doesn't mean they have the same purpose. They are not behind that objective. They are not behind that purpose. They are just people who are, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And most managers and leaders love yes, sir. They love yes, sir. They get, it's like yes, sir is alcohol. They get totally high on the yes, sir. And then they don't get the
I'll
results
feel
and they
safe.
complain.
I'll feel safe when it's say yes. No further questions asked.
Very good.
Vivek.
Yeah, please.
Although I've taken the course, I'm enjoying this conversation. And as I said earlier, I belong to the development sector. And I'm thinking my answer to that question until now is that I really realize that whether we like it or not, whether we know it or not, the world keeps transforming every moment, right? And it becomes visible when it's really at a high impact level. For example, the pandemic, the digital world becoming more spread out in our different parts of our life. The change and changing geopolitical landscape as well. And that reflects so much in the Philippine context. No? So as a development practitioner like Carla Santos here who's with me, we take pride in our framework, in our analysis of society, and in laying out our strategies to make a difference and to shift some of the inequities and provide more for the poor. However, if we are not plugged in to the transformation that's happening, then ultimately we will be obsolete, or our actions, our strategies will not be effective, will not even be heard, and the people, our stakeholders, our customers, will eventually find their way somewhere else, and more and more we will find ourselves really useless, or like just shouting out there without making the difference that we expect.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful, Mary. Awesome.
Thank you.
Please carry on. Please
Isn't
complete.
that true, Carla?
Please
Isn't that true,
complete it.
Carla?
Yes, of course, I agree with you, Mayan. And I was thinking a while ago, my answer to Vivek's last question was, for the team to be able to adapt, they need to when things are transformed, or when things change, you yourself and even together with your team, you need to adapt. And that's what Mayan's saying. If for nonprofits like us, if we stay within our own comfort zones, our own ways of analyzing and doing things, we may be left behind, and no one should be left behind.
That's right.
So I think we need this skill of knowing when and where and how to shift, to adapt, to transform.
Fabulous. And And so I'll just share the slide again with you. What are you transforming? What are you developing the skills of for yourself as well as for the people around you in your life, whether it's in a non-profit, whether it's profit, whether it's family, whether it's institution, whether it's a school, college, doesn't matter where you are, there are people there. Transforming perception, developing the skills so that people are listening to each other, sensing, getting the new world, getting all the data. Because if I come from my ideology and try and push it around to the stakeholders, today they may accept, say yes. As life shifts, some they will say no, and I'll be out. I need to get the world of other people, including all the stakeholders. Very, very important. And to have them also transform perception, have that skill to be able to transform perception, have the skill to suspend and listen and connect. That is going to be your next challenge. This is what is required for a transformation of business, of society, of NGOs, non-profits, all groups, for them, even governments. Today, governments make decisions. People don't like those decisions. But there's not enough engagement. One needs to engage. I'm not criticizing the government. I'm not criticizing the stakeholder. All I'm saying is that there seems to be a lack of connection. There is something missing in the relationship. For anyone to have a breakthrough relationship with their stakeholders, with their customers, is very, very critical. For that to be a wonderful relationship that creates something that is of value, which is lasting and sustainable. It requires that kind of connection. So, great. So I want to give it up to you now to ask me questions, because I've been talking and asking you questions all this time. So maybe it's a good time for you to ask me some questions.
Vivek,
Please go ahead, Kala.
have you had students or partners like Mayan who come from the non-profit sector?
Yes, yes.
And how much are they of your audience or of your participants?
25%. 25%. There have been some great non-profit participants who've done some phenomenal work in India, who have participated with us. So one of them is this Karuna Trust, which is on the screen. Baswa is there. Baswa is a non-profit. Then there's a big organization in Pune, in Maharashtra. We had some participants from there. We've got some people from different parts, Delhi, Chennai, that is Madras, Tamil Nadu. We've had quite a few social entrepreneurs. We've had educationists. We even had a Swamiji, that is a religious person who is heading a group of people, a community of people, a religious head. So we've had all kinds of people from the non-profit sector. 25 to 30% would be from there. Yeah. And they're great participants. They're great participants.
Right, like Mayan, and that would be good because there will be that what you call it, crossbreeding of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it brings about purpose to life, purpose to what they do. They bring purpose to our workshops and to our groups of discussions, which empowers everybody. Everybody would like to connect with their higher purpose, and when people like Mayan come, like you come, everybody is inspired.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.
But also there's a big room for transformation, even to people like Carla and I, and even Anna S. Carpenter here, who is working also on the SDGs in another country. There's big room for us for internal transformation work. I think the veneer of us being the champions for inequality, making a difference to the poor, oppressed, marginalized, and vulnerable sectors, that creates for us like a wall like a different perception of ourselves as the vanguard of transformation. No? But in actuality, it sometimes most of the time it also prevents us from looking inward and seeing how we actually are in relation to our stakeholders and in relation to the system. Because ultimately we're human beings, and even the entrepreneurs, the people in the business sector, our commonality, of course, is we're all human beings, and no matter what the nationality, the cultural background, the country, the profession you have, there are basic common human design in which we are wired, like our ego, for example, that prevents us from really attaining our higher purpose in life, or even connecting to it. So even if it's from business or nonprofit, I think this work, which is based on Theory U, is valuable. It's valuable, really. And the genesis of the work by Otto Scharber includes a lot of non-business, non-state actors as well.
Yes.
Some people from theater, from the academy, even from NGOs, and all of their experiences, their background contributed in
developing the youth theory and this.
Developing the education. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you, Mia. And really for you guys who are in sales, I want to share with you one of the first workshops we led in India in 2016 was with this IT company, and we introduced this whole the world of letting go of your ego and connecting with your stakeholders, connecting with your own sales team, and as well as connecting with your customers. And we had a regional sales manager of a very large organization, IT company, participate. So it was an in-house workshop. There were only people from the IT company there. And we did the training in August. Around the 16th of August, we did the training, and I met the senior regional sales head on 1st October in Delhi. And he was the regional sales head of Western India. What he shared with me was, you taught me to let go of my ego and listen to my team members and listen to my customers. I have never listened to my team members. What will they tell me? I am the boss. I will teach them. They cannot teach me anything. This was my attitude first. But because of this workshop and the skills I developed, the practices I developed, there are certain tools which we give you. He actually went and actually let them speak and got their word. And he used all the tools with his team members. And guess what happened? On 1st October, he said September sales was double. But we had many more connection. We connected as a team much better, and as a team we connected much better with our customers. So it was a transformation of the whole thing. It was a big transformation, and to double your sale is not easy. To be able to double the scale of a Western region is not easy. It's India after all. It's a big region. For that company, it is the largest region, Western region. Highest sales are there. So why I'm sharing this with you all is that really connecting is very, very important. Great. Any more questions?
Yeah, Baswa here.
Yeah, Baswa.
Actually, moment to moment, actually, we are salesperson from birth to death. We are selling something or the other, yeah, in a way. But it is usually transactional. We want to get something and quick results and something like that. I want to shift to heart relationship. And what can I give? Most important question to me is to what can I give instead of what can I get? How to do it?
Yeah, very, very critical is this whole part which you need to learn to develop and transform. I'm going to show you the screen again. This whole part which is at the bottom, can you see this dot in the center of the U?
Yeah.
This is the part where you get connected to your own highest purpose, your highest possibility. See, whenever you call up your customer, if you are standing connected to your highest purpose, when you call up your customer, the person calling is the transformed self. But if you speak to the customer when you are standing here on the top of the U on the left side, where you are still full of your own unconscious thoughts, your unconscious fears and judgments about your customers, about yourself, about your situation, if you're standing right on top over here, that connection is not going to happen. Then you will be doing transactional communications. So every time you and your team, before you pick up the phone, before you go and meet your customer, before any interaction with anybody, first you've got to center yourself in the world of this whole world of presencing, transforming self and will. When you have stepped into the future, when you are stepped into the possibility that you are, that's important to you, that is here at the bottom of the U. When you step across here and you stand here and make a call, from here you start speaking to your customer, where you let go of all that stuff. You will start to be able to develop those relationships and heart-to-heart connections. As long as the fear is there, as long as the cynicism and judgment is there, heart-to-heart, forget it. You're not interested in it. It's not even important to you. What are you getting from this, my response?
Yeah. This is really awesome. Yeah. It is very important to be present for the higher purpose. Not this. We always me, mine, and smaller I. We are there, and from there we have to shift to higher purpose with the customers. Yeah, that is most important. Yeah.
Very good. So when you have got the highest purpose clear in your head, your team has got the highest purpose in your head, then the conversation will be very different.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? So for example, I have this friend of mine in Bombay, he used to sell one of my training programs, and he would, before starting his calls, he would call me and I would ask him, okay, what's on your mind? So he says, what's on my mind is I have to call up so many people and I don't know what's going to happen. So I said, yes. So you don't know what's going to happen. Will I get sales? Will I not get sales? That's on my mind. I said, very good. Can you put all of it aside and tell me, why did you join me? Why did you say you want to sell what I'm doing, my workshops? He said, because it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I said, you joined this work with me to sell because it makes a difference. That's the words you just used, but you're not connected to the difference you want to see made in their lives before you pick up the phone. Are you really calling because it makes a difference? Is that purpose that makes a difference? Is that the purpose of your calling, or are you trying to get a sale? Because if you're trying to get a sale, they are not interested in talking to you. I mean, all of you tell me, when you get calls from salespeople, they want to sell something to you. Do you want to talk to them? Are you saying, welcome, please come, please sell to me? Are you like that? No. You're like, don't waste my time. I don't listen to you. So until and unless the place that you're standing is a very powerful place, you're just going to be doing what is called transactional conversations. So you need to transform self, transform will, transform perception, and then transform action also. Yeah? So I'm just going to introduce you to the U theory with this photograph. So just imagine you're on the left side of the U. You're on this side. This is the mountain you're standing on. And what you want to see in your life, whatever you want to see, the fulfillment in your life is on that mountain. And there is no shortcut of going from here to there. You got to go down the U. You got to go down the U. The place where you think from automatically The default state of human being is we are downloading past patterns. We are basically full of some judgment, cynicism, and fear in our head. We've got all kinds of thoughts in our head, which is all already there in our head. And when you come down the U, you're suspending, redirecting, letting go of those thoughts and connecting yourself to the highest possible self that you are, to your purpose. You're connecting to the source of what's really important to you. So this whole process is a process of letting go of all the nonsense that is already there in our mind, which doesn't allow us to get connected to people. And there are many tools, many practices that you want to develop, you could develop. We will teach you those, and you will then practice them and then come back, and we'll keep interacting until you become competent and master these skills. Remember, more you practice, the better you get, it becomes natural for you. And of course, the more, the better the connections you get, the better the sales, the better the relationships with your customers. And then there's this part of the you where you're crystallizing your vision and intention, you're prototyping. This is all design thinking. Designers think this way. And this entire technology is based on systems thinking. I'll tell you one more thing we do in this workshop is we teach you how to look at the system. So what is the system? The system is you and everyone in your system. There's all the people in your life around you that forms the whole system. You are trained in this technology in the U theory to see yourself in the system and to see the system from outside. You learn to see it from outside, and you'll start to see where all the blind spots are. And as you see the blind spots, you can transform them. And as you transform them, you become more adept at what you want to do. You get connected to your highest purpose, and you make a bigger difference than you're doing right now. Okay? Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, Vivek, Victor here.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, why is it that it is represented as you?
If you see the photograph, it's self-evident that you're already at some place in life. Yes? This is not the place you want to be. You want to be on the other place, on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go from here to there? So this is the pathway. And by chance, this looks like a U. So that's why it's called U. That's the only reason. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a picture to show you a pathway. In fact, in our workshops, we have one more principle, which is the opposite U, which goes the opposite way. That is for destroying yourself, for destroying the results, for making sure you fail. And why you fail, you'll find is because that's the pathway most people take. We unconsciously go this way. We need to go this way, but we go that way. And why we do that is because we're stuck in downloading. Downloading is that we're stuck in our minds, in our egos. As ego increases, more disconnection, more no connection, and more divorce. So how to divorce with the customer? Do you need any training?
No.
Do you need any training for breaking relationship with customer? You're all professional in that. That's the this way you. And we unconsciously go like that, and we don't even realize we're doing that. Whereas this is the way we want to go, and so it's called a U. So real powerful method that's available for us. Yeah. Great question. I hope that answers your question, Victor.
Yeah, thank you, Vivek. Thanks. Yeah.
Great. Any more questions? So if you're not asking any questions, I want to ask you, what have you learned that was valuable for you up till now? Whatever we've talked about, what have you learned that you can take home and start applying in your life, that you can start engaging with your life, that was valuable to you by attending today's session? That was really valuable for you. So who would like to share? You could even type in the chat what was valuable for you if you don't want to share. But I'd like you all to say something At least say, communicate something to me, so I know where we are.
I am not very much present up to now the breakthrough relationships. Only interested in sales. Now I am very much present to breakthrough relationship, that heart to heart, and that will sustain for even after my death also. Yeah, the Corona Trust remains and it works, and the whatever reputation will be there, and the good work will go on. That is important. Breakthrough relationship, because relationship is life. Nothing works without relationship.
Great, Baswa.
So that I learned.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Prakash.
Actually, what I see is my own perceptions are impacting everywhere. Actually, my team, my customers, and I'm not even aware of those perceptions. I can go into that why perceptions are there, but that's not a point. Point is that I'm not even aware of that this is how it is impacting. And when you are transforming your perceptions, you are actually listening to a customer so having so much of empathy, then actually you let go many things, and then you get a lot of feedback from the customer what he really wants. And maybe what you are saying is that you can go to the higher purpose of the customer. Probably in that process, you can see what is your higher purpose. And the whole game of transformation will take place. And that, you said about the breakthrough relationship, that is how it will come actually.
Fabulous, Prakash. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to share with you exactly this happened in a workshop in Hyderabad. Ferdy and I were leading this workshop in Hyderabad, and one of the participants took this as a homework. So it was a 3-day workshop, and we go through different tools to practice. So one of the tools he practiced at night. They are a software IT company. So he spoke to his US customer. First time he did use the tool to listen to the customer and to get what was important to the customer. They saved $10 million sale that day.
Oh, great.
And fantastic. I said, $10 million sale you got saved. You made sure you got $10 million regular sale with that customer. How much did you invest to train 35 people in the company? Nothing. Peanuts.
Yes.
Absolute peanuts.
I agree.
After that, we decided to raise our prices.
That's a good one.
We are giving you so much value, we should increase the price. No?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prakash. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Somebody else. What are you seeing today from this session that's really very useful for you? Shantanu shares, I could see that I'm not caring for customer relationship in my business. Fabulous. And do you see the importance of customer relationship, Shantanu? You can give a thumbs up. Is it important to have a customer relationship?
Actually, I was thinking about it, and I found I need to think more why this customer relationship is important for me. I like the example in which you said India sales were doubled, or just like the example you gave now that somebody had double the sales. In my business, I don't know how I.
What is your business?
One is construction where I sell flats and shops. One is stocks. I am a broker, sub-broker actually. So I ask people to open Demat accounts and trade through this account to get more money.
And why would customer relationship be important? So you're not connected to your purpose. Customers. Your business is purpose. You're not connected to yourself, Shantanu. Let me just to make it faster.
Yes.
You are helping somebody have a better life. Yes or no? Whatever work you do, you're making sure they have a home they want, they have security, they have a very good quality of life. If they open these accounts of stocks and whatever you said you're brokering, that's going to help them only, right? To have a better life. Yes?
That should help, yeah.
Do you care about that? Is that a purpose of your business, or is it just for your survival?
That is the purpose.
Well, if you are connected to that purpose, then customer relationship is going to happen. That you are not, it doesn't matter whether you open the account or not. First important is what? Do they want to have a great life? And how can you help them with what you do to help them to have that great life? That connection, if that is there, would that be great?
Yes.
That's the whole game. You want to develop those skills. All the practices we do in our training programs is for developing cause that in your life. Okay? Got it, Shantru?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Yes, Shiva.
Hello.
Yeah, I discovered how much I am disconnected with my own higher self and the purpose which is getting reflected in my relationships, in my business, where things just, I have to push them, nothing happens, and I'm just surviving. And this is a place where things can really transform me as well as the business. That's what I'm getting.
Very good. And I promise you, you'll save time. If you invest more in customer relationship, you will spend less time with them.
Hello.
Great. Yes, Karuna Trust.
Sir, in our case, ours is a trust and we are donors and the beneficiaries. How we can help? Who is our customer?
Very good. This is very important. Have you ever asked donor why he is paying you money and donating money? What is their higher purpose?
Their purpose is to their money should reach the needy people.
But what is the purpose that what purpose of theirs that they take money from their wallet and give you? What is the purpose they have in their life? You are not connected to it. You never ask them. You never ask them. How can you guess? What you are doing is guesswork. You never ask them. A person who is donating to you, you don't know why he's donating money.
Some people told you are doing good work, we will support it. Like
Very good. They told me you are doing good work, so very good. But what is their purpose? You still don't know. So you need to do 1 week practice asking customer, why are you giving money? What is your purpose? What is your objective? Maybe they are wanting punya or they want something, which God will give them a place in heaven or something. Maybe that is there. Maybe it gives them satisfaction to give back. We don't know what their purpose is. We are not connected to them. First connect to them. Then you will be able to, get a better answer to that question. Otherwise, you're asking me for the answer of different human beings on the planet, and each one of them will have a different purpose. So please do not generalize people's purposes. I don't know the general purpose of every human being. Each one is different. Like we had Mayan on the call just now, she had a different purpose than you guys. Two different human beings. So very important, connect with them. Great. Sam, thank you for putting on your video. Anyone else would like to share what did you create as value that you see is valuable for you in this work that we're doing?
Sorry, I've been having a lot of trouble with my setup. So I put in another monitor and a lot of stuff, and now I'm up and running. So yeah.
How was the session for you?
Yeah, excellent. It was a very good session. We are actually in the area of digital forensic products and tools, and our customers are government and things like what should I say? Agencies, so mainly, and a few corporates. So essentially what happens is that we have a bunch of products which we trade, we import and distribute, and the others we make ourselves. So these are, software and hardware. So, cybersecurity area, but this is, a focused segment of that, which is the digital forensics and investigations area. So our customers, the value that they get from what we do is essentially, I would say things like, they are able to catch the bad guys with our tools. Second, they get good press out of the fact that, oh, they caught somebody, they solved a crime, for example. Third, they get things like, uh, you know, uh, that feeling of having acquired some of the latest, most high-tech equipment that is out there. They get that feeling of being at the cutting edge of technology, which it's a toy thing. People love that as well. So these are some of the thoughts that I came up with.
I got it, but these are all your thoughts. And all your thoughts are valid. All your thoughts are valid.
Sorry?
Whatever you came up in your head is all valid, perfect, valid, 100 on 100 validity. But when we want to connect with the customer, we will really get their higher purpose, and then the sales will shoot. Then there will be a different ball game. Of course, there will be one or two who have exactly what you shared, that it's a toy for them. People want to be getting the high-tech technology. People want to be protected more. All these things are absolutely perfect, which are all from your side. That no question what you have to offer is something they need and they want, right? Literally, you can sell to anybody probably certain things. The thing is, they should know that it's their need. And if it's not their need, it's like you're struggling, and a lot of time is wasted because you haven't got that connection with your customer. So great. We've got about 11 minutes to go. So I want to let you know that, this was an introduction to the U theory, the workshops that we do, the trainings that we do, and the kind of work we do with people, where you start to get deeper and deeper into many aspects of your businesses and your lives and to transform them. We will help you to turn the camera around and see yourself in the system. We'll help you to see, to listen to people and connect with them empathetically. It's not something that we are masters of. We have certain tools and practices that you develop, and that will help you to get those skills that will take you from intention to reality. So the U theory is like this. This top of the U is my intention, and this side top of the U is I have made my intention real. So this entire U is the education which you want to master the skills of, to take your intentions and make it real. And for that, we're going to be having a workshop in February. The dates of the workshop, I think 6th and 7th of February, Saturday, Sunday, the first weekend of February. And if you see on your chat, there is a link. We shared a link on the chat. You could just click on the link and you will be able to go and find out all the details you need to find out about that program. Okay, and if you'd like to participate in it, you're welcome to do so. There are two ways to book your seat. One is to pay in full, and I don't know, it's I think £350. The link will give you all the options, and then there will be another link, a second link, which is basically you can block your seat right now by booking it, and then after a few days, when you have organized your funds, you can complete the balance payment. What is it going to take for you to participate in a workshop like this? Well, it's going to take you to step forward, take a commitment, go for it. Okay? No amount of convincing, etc. All that is not something that we want to do. We know if you want this kind of development in your lives, then what stops a normal human being is, should I? Shouldn't I? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And we keep saying that question in our head and stop. So one of the barriers we have that will stop us from stepping forward in our life is our own fears, our own cynical selves, our own thoughts. So my request to you and my invitation to you is to take a step forward. If this is something that is important to you, this is something you want to develop yourself in, click on that link that's there. It'll open up a page in your computer and it'll give you an opportunity to book a seat if you are really interested in doing that in your life. Okay, it's 5:52 p.m. There's a brochure. We've added a brochure on the chat. You can click on the brochure link and download the brochure on your computers or phones so that you get more details. I haven't introduced my colleagues to you. I'm not alone. I'm not the only guy. My ex-boss, who I used to fool around and say yes sir to. He's part of the team. That's Ferdy D'Souza. And my friend and buddy Manoj Onkar, he is also a faculty and lead faculty for these programs. Okay. Anything you guys want to say, Ferdy, Manoj?
We're lovely to have you participate.
Thanks, Ferdy.
That's all I have to say.
Anything you guys want to ask any of us, you're welcome to. Manoj, you want to say
What's
something?
the duration?
So the workshop is on 6th and 7th, 2 days. It will start at 12 noon and finish at 8 p.m. So that's on 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. That allows
India
people-
time.
India time. That allows people from England to participate, people from Philippines to participate, people from India to participate. It's 2-day workshop. After that, included in this fees is a 6-session seminar, which is going to be once a week of 2.5 hours each. And in those 6 sessions, you will be practicing what you have learned, and we will go deeper and deeper until you become competent. And during the week, you will be doing the work and practicing and implementing in your businesses and in your lives, in your organizations, in your communities. So 2-day workshop, full hard work, learn, and then 6 sessions, practice, practice, implement, practice, practice, implement, so that you develop the muscles. That's the design. Does it answer your question, Victor?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vivek.
Great. Thanks, Victor. Any other questions? Anything you want to say? Manoj, you want to share something? Yeah. Okay, have you all had the chance to download and click on the buttons you wanted to? Just do a thumbs up so then I know. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. Milind, Carla, thank you. Anna, Jaina, Regine. Okay, great. Okay, I'm done. 5 to 6. Been able to complete on time. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for your listening. It was a real privilege. Sorry, Manoj.
Vivek, sorry, can you type in your phone numbers for people to get in touch with you? I am also typing in my phone number. Okay. You can call us up or do WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah, this is my phone number, and I do WhatsApp on it also. So it's a normal phone and WhatsApp also.
Same.
So if you want to give me a WhatsApp call, you could call me from anywhere on the planet.
Okay, feel free to connect with us for any questions or any support. Thank you very much for your participation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.